It is the spring of 1220, on the borders of ancient Khorazm. A mother stands silently, watching as soldiers lead her 14-year-old daughter toward a long caravan of captives. The girl's name is Zarya. She doesn't cry out, nor does she try to resist. She has already learned that defiance brings only more suffering. Her name, her age, even her height are written down by the Mongol soldiers with precise detail. This wasn't a random act of cruelty, it was a system, organized and deliberate. What was happening to girls like Zarya was part of something far larger than conquest. It was about control not just of land, but of life itself. The Mongol Empire wasn't only reshaping nations, it was reshaping generations. Women were caught at the center of an empire that saw them not merely as individuals, but as part of a broader design to secure its future. You won't read about these events in the grand chronicles that celebrate Mongol victories. Those records speak of battles won, cities captured, and rulers defeated. But behind those stories lies another truth, a hidden chapter written not in ink but in human bloodlines. Centuries later, modern science would reveal this unseen legacy. Genetic studies found that millions across Asia and beyond share ancestry tracing back to Genghis Khan's line. His influence didn't end with his death, it continued through generations. The true power of Genghis Khan was never only in his armies. His strength reached far deeper into families, villages, and future generations. He built an empire not only with steel and fire, but through lineage and design. To understand how this began, we must go back to when he was not yet a conqueror, but a child. A boy named Temujin, born in 1162 on the harsh steppes of Mongolia. His tribe was small and often attacked by stronger clans. Life was survival, nothing more. When Temujin was just 9 years old, his father was poisoned by rivals. His mother, Holan, was abandoned with her children, left to face a merciless world. They gathered roots, caught fish, and ate bark just to survive. From this hardship, Temujin learned one enduring lesson. In this world there are only two kinds of people, those who take and those who are taken. At 16, another tragedy changed him forever. His betrothed, Bert, was captured by a rival tribe. Months later, Temujin rescued her, but their lives had been shattered. He realized then that power didn't rest only on strength in battle, it rested in control over the next generation. Whoever guided families and children controlled the future. From that moment, his strategy became something greater than warfare. He began to think in centuries, not just battles. By 1206, Temujin had united the Mongol tribes and was crowned Genghis Khan ruler of all the steppes. He built not only an army but a system. Behind every campaign, there were scribes, administrators, and planners who recorded every detail. When he invaded the Tangut Empire in 1209, this system revealed its true nature. Before the Mongol army even arrived, their scouts quietly surveyed the land-counting people, resources, and families. When the cities fell, the population was divided methodically. Men were assigned to labor or military service, while families were relocated and recorded. It was the beginning of one of the most organized population policies in history. Every detail, from the number of families to the birth of a child, was written down. People became data, part of a vast system that treated human life as a resource of the empire. Caravans of captives followed the Mongol armies. They moved with military precision guarded, managed, and documented. There were healers, scribes, and officials responsible for maintaining the order of life within these groups. What makes this system so chilling is not just the suffering it caused, but the precision with which it was managed. Genghis Khan had created a bureaucracy of control. His administrators kept detailed records, not just of land and gold, but of people. And yet, even within this machinery, the human spirit endured. Many women tried to preserve their identity, whispering their real names to their children, or singing old songs from their homeland in secret. They fought to keep memories alive, believing that as long as someone remembered, their culture could not truly die. By 1211, when Genghis Khan turned toward the Jin Empire, this policy had evolved. Entire populations were reorganized, with families resettled under Mongol rule. Communities were restructured so that over generations they would become loyal to the empire. This was not just a military conquest, it was a social transformation. The Mongols understood that the most lasting victory was not on the battlefield, but in shaping the next generation. During the campaigns against the Khwarezmian Empire in 1219, this system reached its peak. The Mongols didn't just march with weapons, they marched with scribes, officials, and an entire network of administrators who managed the population. Records stretched from Mongolia all the way to Central Asia. Every city was mapped, every family categorized. This was not chaos, it was design. Through calculated movement and controlled integration, the Mongols ensured their presence would last far beyond their armies. Modern research now confirms the scale of that legacy. Nearly 16 million men alive today are believed to descend from Genghis Khan. Male line that is about 1 in every 200 men on Earth. His genetic mark remains strongest in Mongolia and Central Asia, but its traces extend across continents. This wasn't a coincidence. It was the result of a system that turned population into policy. Genghis Khan understood that power was not only measured in territory, but in generations. After his death in 1227, his sons and grandsons carried his methods forward. They refined them using population management as a tool of governance. Across Asia, families were merged, traditions blended, and new identities formed under Mongol rule. By the time of Kublai Khan, these practices had become a cornerstone of the empire. What began as a method of control became imperial tradition. Archaeological discoveries still reveal traces of this history. Burial sites and written records tell of mass movements of families and the cultural reshaping of Eurasia. They speak of how Genghis Khan's empire reached not only through conquest, but through bloodline. His power didn't end with his armies. It lived on in the lives of those absorbed into his world, their descendants scattered across continents. The legacy of Genghis Khan is not just written in history books or carved into monuments. It exists in people and the living proof of a system that reshaped humanity itself. His conquest was not only of nations, but of generations. And that is why his story still echoes through time, not just as the tale of a conqueror, but as a reminder of how deeply one vision can change the world. Because true conquest does not end with war. It endures in memory, in lineage, and in the silent heritage carried within us all. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this hidden side of history as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that change the way we see the world. See you next time.